Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to create this animation. So the first step, I was creating this mask using Gravity Sketch in Oculus. If you don't have Oculus, you can skip this part. I'm using different colors because then I can apply different shaders for each color. This process is actually fun, and sometimes I'm using it to add some details on the clothes. The color is not important because later I can change it in DAZ Studio. So right now it's only for me to see better. After I create my piece, I need to save it as OBJ, and in DAZ I import it, and unfortunately I didn't save it in the right properties, so axis conversion is very important. And you can see that my mask is the wrong scale, so I need to adjust it manually. So when everything in place, if you apply animation, then the mask will be in place. So we need to parent it. We need to parent it with the head bone. So I used Edit, Object, Change Parent, and then I choose head bone. Now everything is working. I need to insert empty block for transition, and here I don't change anything, and then I can apply animation. In my case it will be walking in place, and then I can stretch it to the time which I want her, how long I want her to walk. This will be enough, and our animation is ready. I also edit her eyes to blink. It's not very difficult. So I save it first as MDD, or saving the animation. And then I save it as OBJ. Here we need to remember what's axis conversion we have, because it needs to be the same when we import it to CLO3D. And the rest you can change. Because in my case, we will not need this avatar later, because I'm going to use avatar in DAZ. So texture is nothing is important. I'm importing first OBJ to CLO. I need to make sure that the scale is correct. now I can import MDD. It can be done later, but I decided to check if everything is correct. Should be access condition, everything. And yeah, I turn off the texture so we don't see the naked body. Now let's check if animation is correct. And it's not correct. So I need to check again access conversion. Let's try to import, I'm trying to import the same file again, but I will change access conversion. And I will do this invert. Sometimes I have to try many times until everything is done correctly, but that's the process. It's frustrating when you don't know where is the mistake. But now let's see, and everything is right. So we have our animation. And we can start to create the dress. For this project, I decided not to do anything. So we start our course by using 3D pen and drawing right directly on avatar. You can also use curve lines, but I just prefer it like that and adjust it later on the pattern when I can see it better. Because sometimes it's unpredictable how it turns out. So here we're flattening the pieces, and here there are our two pieces of patterns. And we can start adjusting the lines by deleting the points which we don't need. This is where I add some curves. I'm cleaning our pattern pieces. Sewing the lines. And unfolding this piece. And another piece we just copy and paste, symmetrical piece. Sewing it together, and I strengthen the piece so it simulates better. I also apply -5 pressure. And I would like to add some stiffness to the fabric, so I choose leather preset. Now we can create the top part. I'm going just to make it like triangle piece, and then I add lines, and I'm going to add fullness. I delete these lines because I don't need it, and I add some curves. I'm also adding a pin before simulation so it stays in place. It's not perfect, so I need to spend more time adjusting the pattern. Every time I change something, I simulate to see what changed. Now I will create the strap, which will go from the top part to the back of the corset. I'm freezing the piece so it doesn't move when I simulate. And I delete the pin. Now I just copy and paste both pieces and we have symmetrical pieces. So now we can create the bottom of the corset. I make very simple shape. Make sure that the line of the corset and this part is the same, so I just change the length of the line. Now I can unfold symmetrically and copy and paste it for the back part. I sew it together to see how it looks. I sew bottom part to corset. So now we can see that at the bottom there is too much fabric. I need to create a split. I put a dot on the corset where I want the split to be. And here I can put the dot, doesn't matter where, because I'm going to adjust the lengths of the lines. I cut and sew it. And then I check the lengths of the lines on the corset and make here it's the same. And now we can sew it all together. Here I made a mistake, so now I'm adjusting it. Now everything should be fine. Yes, looks good. But we just need to add curve at the bottom. And adjust this one as well. Making sure that the lines which we're going to sew together has the same length. Okay, and to add a bit curve in front as well. Now we can create a skirt. I'm going to do it same way as the top part. Just create a simple shape, add lines, and apply fullness. Unfolding symmetrically, adding fullness, and the skirt is ready. I copy and paste it to make back part. I freeze it so it doesn't move when I simulate. So the skirt is ready. I can unfreeze it now, and I decided to make it a little bit shorter. Okay, that's good. So I want to add one piece under wire, I guess that's how it's called. So I add internal line, and I create lining outside. So now I just delete it, and I will have only this piece which I wanted to create. I just need to add stitching, and it's already in the right place where I want it to be. So I can just simulate, and that's it. I apply thickness and I remove the pressure. So it's good, it will be like a decorative part. I create lining on top because I want this piece to be double. I remove all the stitching and make new ones because some lines I want to be turned and some custom angle. And don't forget to sew at the top. Should be turned. Okay, yes, I need to adjust back a little bit because there is a bit too much fabric. So I just move the line a little bit, and now it looks better. That's it, our dress is ready. I need to rename every fabric, and for every piece which I'm going to apply different shaders, I need to create a new fabric. So here I have skirt, under wire, body, and top. And I will just place a UV map in one square. At the end, I need to add text on avatar so our simulation will be better and the dress will not move anywhere. Because sometimes during simulation, especially if the fabric is stiff like my corset, it can turn around and the strap could fall from the shoulder. So I want to make sure that it will not happen. checking if everything is good. Okay, so here is our animation. It's not simulated yet. So right now only avatar is moving. We just need to press record and to record our simulation. So here we already have our animation ready, and we need to export it as OBJ sequence. I've tried different methods, and only this worked for me when I was exporting animation to DAZ Studio. This way takes some time because it will record each frame as separate OBJ. If you know another way, please share and comment. I'm choosing thin and weld, and I don't need avatar because I'm going to use avatar from DAZ. You can choose unified UV coordinates if you have textures. I'm going to use only shaders, so for me it's not important. And I skipped all the way, so now we import first OBJ. I select it, then I go to Edit, Objects, and Morph Loader Pro. Here I will select all the sequences which I exported from CLO3D. But even after this, animation will not work. We need Animorph for DAZ Studio. We need to download it. And we run it. And that's it. Now everything is working. So now we just have to apply all the shaders, make the scene, add some lights as you like it. I just did it. I did it already. And I add camera rotation. Now we can check how it looks like. Here I can show how I apply the shaders. I select my dress, and here you can see why I named all the fabrics differently, because here we have all the body, skirt, and each part we can apply different shader. I already have many shaders installed, so for me it's just one click. Here you can see how fast it's to change it. And for the mask, I was doing exactly the same, only applying shaders and maybe changing color. But this is a fast way to do it, so I'm just showing you what you can. And here, that's it. Everything is done, ready to render. Let me know if you want more detailed information on one of the processes, because this is my first video tutorial. I'm still learning, and I hope you liked it. And thank you for watching.